Hi, my name is Jennifer Lee, and I'm the Assistant Director of the Tiny Habits Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Shabnam Daskar. I'm a functional medicine physician, and both of us are very interested in brain health, and we would like to help you improve your brain function. And this is going to be just a brief overview of what our course is all about. And over to you, Jennifer.
So, we've created a course on tiny habits for brain health, and we wanted to give you a quick preview of what you'll see in that course. In the Tiny Habits for Brain Health course, which you can find at tinyhabitsacademy.com, you'll see a description of that course here. You're going to cover the 3 foundations of brain health, 5 core strategies to help you, additional strategies for staying sharp. This course is made up of 18 modules, 71 lessons. It's over 8.5 hours of content, including a whole bunch of PDFs. But you might look at that description and say, but what really is in this course? So we're going to give you a quick preview. Now, Shabnam and I are the main teachers for this course, but we're also joined by Dr. BJ Fogg of Stanford University. He is the creator of the Tiny Habits Method and the head of the Stanford Behavior Design Lab, and also his associate, Stephanie Weldy. So some of these lessons are recorded by BJ and Stephanie. Some of them are Dr. Carr and I. You'll see in the welcome, we get an introduction, a little bit of how to navigate this course. In Module 2, you'll learn the Fogg behavior model. In Module 3, you'll learn the basics of the Tiny Habits method. So this is the one that you'll see. We're going to have a little bit of a lesson from Dr.
Welcome
Fogg.
back. I'm BJ Fogg. In this session, we're going to go into the basics of the Tiny Habits method. The Tiny Habits method is a way to bring new habits into your life quickly and easily. And
all right. It comes from the Tiny Habits book. You'll see you're going to learn how to use the Tiny Habits method, how to create recipes for actually implementing new habits into your life. You're going to learn about what helps us to create habits. And it's not repetition, it's actually emotion. You can learn all about that. You'll learn our tips for celebration. So many people struggle with this aspect of the Tiny Habits method. You learn how to troubleshoot when things aren't going well for you. And we're going to give you access to a few resources that you won't find anywhere else. Many of you may have done the Tiny Habits 5-day program. We're going to go really in depth into not just how do I create a habit, but how do I choose which habits I want to create with extra videos like magic wanding and the focus mapping process. And we've actually created a little bit of a cheat sheet for you in many of these lessons. We've included what we call a focus mapping kit, where you'll see a list of behaviors that we've already identified may be effective in helping you to achieve your goal. All right, so as you go on, now that you've mastered the Tiny Habits method and all of those aspects of creating new behaviors, now we're really going to dive deep into brain health. Videos on understanding your brain, how it works, those 3 brain killers that we talked about, blood glucose, blood pressure, chronic inflammation, numbers to know, what can you get tested and how can you have that done? What kinds of genetic factors should you be looking for? Dr. Daskar has a wealth of information on this. We learn a lot about sleep and just a sneak peek at a little bit of Shabnam's teaching. Talk about insomnia just a little bit more. I'd love to know, what are the main symptoms to look for if I'm worrying, do I have insomnia?
So one thing about chronic insomnia is, as we talked about before, so if you have problem falling asleep, staying asleep, and this has lasted for longer than 3 months, then that is, by medical definition, that is chronic insomnia. And you have.
All right. And as you'll see, we dived really deep into a lot of these brain healthy topics, everything that you want to know. We talk about sleep. Moving on to the next page, as we mentioned, this is 71 different lessons. So it's a lot of information here. What about eating? What do I need to know about my food choices to keep my brain healthy? What about intermittent fasting? What about movement? We all know that what's good for the heart is good for the brain. And you'll see we've got a lot of exercise recommendations, why it helps, how to track it, strategies for getting more. Mind-body interventions, things like meditation and managing stress well. We're going to talk about some supplements. Which ones should you be taking and how do you know? And then we're going to cover some additional topics like mental health, how to protect your brain. What about hearing loss? What is the role of social connections in keeping your brain healthy? And how can you keep it active? Another special Tiny Habits tip, many people want to know not only how do I create good habits, but how do I untangle those bad habits? We don't call it breaking bad habits, we call it untangling. We've got a whole unit on that. Probably the most requested Tiny Habits information. How do I make good ones? How do I break bad ones? And then we're going to talk about, Dr. Fogg and Stephanie talk about establishing habitual culture in your home. Could also be your workplace, your friends, how you can change the world around you. And then we'll wrap up this course, kind of showing you what you've learned. Now you'll see this is a lot of videos. It's 8.5 hours of content. You don't have to do it all. You can click through and choose. This lesson looks interesting to me. I think I'm going to skip that one for now. It's all about you and which ones are really interesting to you. And we've also created another resource that's really going to help you as you navigate this program. So many of these lessons have PDFs that go with them. Our favorite recipes for getting better sleep or for protecting your brain, or a list of all of the different ways that you might incorporate more exercise into your life. So those are spread throughout the lessons, but we've also compiled them into one really helpful workbook. And you'll see this workbook, we've actually got 83 pages of different resources. As you'll see here, recipes, recipe cards. Now, when we say recipes, these are actually how we formulate the habits, not cooking recipes. We have cooking recipes in this as well.
Recipes.
We have both kinds of recipes, Tiny Habits recipes and cooking recipes. Ideas for celebration, creating your own swarm of behaviors, our list of the best behaviors for brain health. Lots and lots of information on testing, how you can measure your numbers, how you can lower those numbers. And then as you'll see down here, if we keep going, so just lots more information, self-assessments, ideas for getting assessments from your doctor. And then you'll see not only are you getting this course, but you're getting this entire cookbook full of brain healthy recipes for you to try out. And at the very bottom of those resources, we also link out, because we all know there's so many amazing resources available on the web, but we don't know where to begin, right? Which ones of these are reputable, which ones are helpful. And so we've got a list of some of the videos and lab tests and apps and all of those things that we've recommended in this course. So it's very comprehensive. There's a ton of information here. You can dive in and you can really pick and choose. Don't feel like you need to commit to 8.5 hours and 80 some pages of resources. It's just, this is your buffet and you are welcome to come and take whatever you want from it.
Thank you, Jennifer. So the reason Jennifer and I are very excited about the Tiny Habits for Brain Health course is I've been a physician for a long time, and we used to follow the system of just give them more information and people are going to take actions, which BJ calls the information action fallacy. The reason I'm excited about our program is we take away that, information action part of it. So if you are someone who already knows a lot about what you need to do for your brain health, you don't need to go through all the informational videos. But I know many of you are like you and like Jennifer and me. We need to know why I should do something. So there are different ways. There is no one right way to do this course. As Jennifer says, you can, just keep on sampling a little bit and see what works for you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So in this course, you're going to see what do I need to do, but also how do I actually make that a reality in my life? Thank you so much, Dr. Carr, and we look forward to seeing you hopefully in our course.
Thank you, Jennifer.